Hello, friends. Happy New Year. It is 2024, and I'm so grateful that you are walking into this new year with me on this podcast. I have some really exciting things planned. I'm so excited to share all the things with you. So let's dive into today's episode. We are talking today about the one thing that makes small businesses successful and sustainable. It is ridiculously simple. It is not easy. Those are two different things, but it is really, really simple. So let's dive into today's episode and let's get going with 2024. Are you an overwhelmed business owner who struggles to meet your sales goals, but you feel like you're working so hard? Hey, I'm Lindsay, a Jesus-following wife and mom of four. I'm also an award-winning medical device sales rep turned sales and business strategist, and I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to the Small Business Sales and Strategy Podcast. I'm here to help you develop the skills and strategies you need to sell your services and products with ease so that you can grow your business, serve your community well, and ultimately live the life you dream of. Grab your coffee and a notebook or your tennis shoes and take me on a walk. You're in the right place. Are you ready to dive in? Let's go. Hello, friends. Welcome back to the show. I am so super excited that you are joining me for the first episode of 2024. And I've got some really exciting things planned for this year. I've got some workshops and some speaking engagements, and I'm just super excited that you're going to be here for the ride with me. If you have not already, please join my Facebook group. That is where all the fun things are going to be happening in 2024, and you do not want to miss the education and the brainstorming that is going to be happening inside of this group. I am really excited to light this thing on fire and get moving. This topic came to me today because at the end of the year and at the beginning of the year, everyone is super set on goal setting and reviewing and building out what next year is going to look like. And if you know me in real life, you know that I love a good goal setting session. You know that I love a good brainstorming session and visionary session about what things could look like in the new year. And New Year's are so full of hope and excitement. But I want to make sure that we are keeping our feet on the ground and realistic about what we can do and what we can achieve. And I think it's important to remember that there are a few things that make small businesses successful. Woo, that's a mouthful. Small businesses successful. I've just split those words up very intentionally there. There are a few things that make small businesses successful. And the number one thing that I think is most important, are you ready for it, is consistency. We have to be intentionally consistent with our marketing, with our sales conversations, with how much work we're taking on, with making sure that we're having meetings with our team and checking in and reviewing work. And we have to be consistent with bookkeeping. We have to be consistent. So as you're developing your 2024 plan, I want you to make sure that the things you're putting in place are sustainable and that you can be consistent in those plans. So, for example, if you are developing your marketing plan and you are putting together your strategy and how you're going to reach more people and how you're going to book more clients, or maybe you're even wanting to just maintain through the first quarter of this year, I want you to really think about what is it that you can commit to, or what is it that your team can commit to, so that you develop a consistent plan, so that you can consistently show up and you can consistently check those boxes in that strategy. So, for example, if you're developing your marketing plan, you're going to want to do things that are sustainable. So maybe creating 10 reels per day is not a sustainable thing for you and your small business. I know it is not sustainable for me. It is not something that I can even start to do, let alone maintain doing on a daily basis. In our small business, we mostly market on Facebook, and that's the platform where the majority of our customers live, or our potential customers live. Our target market is on Facebook. They might be other places too. They might be on Instagram. They might be on TikTok. They may be searching Google, but what I do know is they are on Facebook. So when I'm creating our Facebook marketing plan, I am creating a schedule of content that I can consistently keep up with. Now, you may be at the point where you are ready to hire out, and that is a really, really great idea. We'll talk about delegation next week. But if you are still doing these items or these tasks yourself, I want you to really create a strategy that is sustainable so that you can be consistent. So what that looks like for us, for our personal small business, is I post Monday, Wednesday, and Friday because that is a schedule that I can consistently maintain. It is a schedule that I can keep up with. It's not too overwhelming or too much work. I have 3 content pillars that I post about: who we are, what we do, and some tips and tricks, education things. And if it's outside of those 3 things or those 3 days, I don't do it because I cannot consistently keep up with that type of posting for our small business and do all the other things that I'm responsible for inside that business. So when you are thinking about creating these plans for 2024, think about consistency and what is sustainable. Because again, I think the biggest mistake that people make in vision casting and goal making and dreaming about their small business is that they create these grandiose plans, but then get overwhelmed because there's too much to do in too little time. So I give you permission if you need it. This is permission to scale it back, really take a really hard look at what you're planning on doing for the year and determining whether it is sustainable for you, whether you can consistently show up in those ways. Consistency is the word in 2024. Consistency is key. I believe wholeheartedly that if you are consistent with your marketing and sales plan, that you will see the results that you are wanting. If you are having trouble developing a marketing plan, I would love to sit down with you and help you create a marketing strategy that you can consistently show up with. And by the way, I just created one for a client that was 100% no paid advertising. So if you are interested in working with me on developing a marketing plan that is sustainable and that you can show up with consistently, you can book a connection call so I can learn more about your business and we can take steps to move forward together. Visit lindsayfletcher.co, or I will link it in the show notes so that you can book a connection call with me. You'll want to fill out the form that I send you in as much detail as possible, and then we will connect about your business and marketing plan. Again, if you have not joined my small business community for women Facebook group, I would love to have you in there. I would love for you to meet the other women in the group. We are a small but mighty group and we are growing every day. And I have some really fun and exciting things planned and in store for 2024. Thank you again for joining me today for this first episode of 2024. I believe in you and I'm praying for you and your business. I hope you are thriving right where you are. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Small Business Sales and Strategy Podcast. If you found this info useful, will you please leave me a review wherever you are listening? It will not only bless me, but it will also help others find this podcast as well. I'd also love to connect with you, so don't forget to join my free Facebook community for business women. The link is in the show notes. And last but not least, if you'd like to snag a sales and marketing strategy session with me so you can start 2024 off on the right foot, email me at hello@lindsayfletcher.co. Thank you again for listening, and we'll chat next week.